Alright, what's going on, guys? I hope you're having a good morning so far. Today is Wednesday, January 8th of 2020, 8:10 a.m. my time or 14:10 UTC. And Bitcoin is trading at $8,312. So, I went over kind of my higher time frame stuff yesterday in a video, but if you did not watch that video, I will go over it again here real quick. I have the top of this candle and the bottom of this candle marked out as monthly levels, basically a key range here. You can see the top of this candle once price closed above it, retested as support here, support here, support here. Price closed inside of that key range, came down, barely front on the bottom. Off the open here, we pushed up into the monthly level as resistance, then got rejected. Came back down here to test the bottom of the range and took out the low. And then so far this month, we have set a bottom wick on the monthly candle and pushed up. We are above the key range, but we have not closed above it yet, at least on a monthly time frame. So we'll need to see that first, but we have pushed up into the last, kind of the last level I have on the monthly time frame. You might be able to see it better here on log chart. Basically, the bottom of this candle I have marked out as resistance. It's at 8,300. See up move before this down move that broke the lows, so more or less a supply zone on higher time frame, and price has pushed up into that level right now. So on a monthly time frame, I'm looking for a close above the range for more upside, but for now we are right into that monthly resistance level, so I would not long here yet. Looking at a weekly, I don't think a lot has changed on the weeklies as well. Basically, I have the same levels marked out. The only new levels besides, or on the weekly, I have is the weekly open here, which we are above the weekly open, above the monthly open. And then I have this level here marked out as support. It is basically the lowest close of this consolidation range. As you can see, once price came down here and closed, we consolidated, have not closed below that support level. This candle here took out this low and basically set the range high, consolidated, price came down, took out the low, pushed up into the resistance level, consolidated. This candle here was the first higher high. If you look at the top wicks here, see we had a high, lower high, another one here, here, and here, and then here, and then on this candle we finally broke that streak and took out the previous candle's high. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive lower highs. On the 9th candle, we broke that. So then price once took out the high, came back down, took out the candle's low, bounced off the support level, and then we have pushed up so far. Right now, we are at the monthly level, but it's basically just this consolidation here. Price traded above it, came back below it, and now it could be considered like an over-under pattern. Excuse me. So right now, just testing the previous consolidation and the higher time frame monthly level. So right at resistance here. I'm gonna mark this off. I'm gonna put range high because this is the highest high of this range here. Let's go ahead and go to the daily real quick. So on a daily time frame, you can see we have clearly broke out of the range on the daily, closed above the monthly resistance level here on this candle on the 6th. Then yesterday pushed up even higher, closed above the range high, and then off the open today we pushed up into the supply zone and that monthly level. So if today closes below 8,300, I'm looking for more downside back to 7,800, basically back down here. Because if you look here, right, this is the consolidation before this big sell-off or down move that broke the lows and broke market structure, right? So this is a key supply zone. Daily supply zones, daily demand zones, they usually don't break on the first test. So you can see that price pushed right up into it, got rejected pretty hard so far, right off the edge of that. So today I'm looking for a daily close below 8,300. You might could short that. I'm actually already in a short position. from up here, but you know, we get that daily close, you can short that, stop above the high, target either down here at 7,800, or you can look for 7,600. 7,600 was this December's monthly open. You can see that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 daily candles that pushed above December's monthly open, but was unable to close above it. So I just had this out as a daily support level because of how many tests on the daily we had. So that's a key level, right? Once price closed above it here, it went higher. So if I was short, target 7,800, 7,600, and you know, we'll see how price approaches these levels. If price comes down here, you know, at these levels, what I want to see, if price comes back down here, we want to see it break the range high first, but really we want to see it push below the monthly level. And if you're looking for more upside, you want to see it push below and close back above up here. If you're looking for downside, you want to see it push below and close below it down here, right? Close above or below the level typically leads to price moving in that direction, right? You can see once we broke above this level, we went higher. So you can see once we closed below this level, price retested it and went lower. So using that kind of strategy at levels is a pretty good way of getting confirmation of which way price is going to go. Same thing for supply and demand zones. Price pushes into a zone and closes below it, then you expect price to go lower. Price pushes into a demand zone and closes above it, then you expect price to go higher. So technically here, I'm going to mark out this kind of trend line. I'm using this high, the highest close, and I'm lining it up with this second close here. Something along the lines of like this, because you can see here, use that as resistance here, briefly broke above it, came back down, kind of use it as resistance and sold off. Price retested it here and here as well. You can see that price is closed beyond this trend line. So we've kind of broken this down trend line, in my opinion, and we've gotten a higher high here if you're looking at this range, right? We had the highs, the lows, lower high, then we had a higher low, and then this is a higher high, right? So since we set the low, we have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. So that's something to be aware of. I think it's definitely looking pretty bullish, but this area that we're at right now is not where you want to be longing, in my opinion. This is where you should be taking profits on your short position or on your long positions up here, and maybe jumping in a short or just hedge here. But overall, I think if we're going to come back down, that you could start looking to buy somewhere in this area. Like I said, you want to see how price approaches these levels, how the candles close whenever they actually react here, because you could take profits all throughout here if you're short, but I would wait to see how price reacts before jumping in along. Let's go ahead and look at H4 real quick, see if there's any clear levels. So you can see the supply zone here. I'm actually going to mark this out because I had this marked out yesterday and we kind of ripped through it. So it was supply, price broke above it. See, push into it, it closed inside the zone, and what happened? Once it closed inside the zone, briefly came back down, but it went higher, right? So you can see here, price pushed into this supply zone and closed below it. So I'm expecting downside. Here, pushing that supply zone, closed inside of it and went higher. So that's just what I was talking about, how price approaches the levels. So yeah, I'm actually going to delete this now because that was just what I wanted to show you with that example. If price closes on H4 below this monthly level here at 8,300, then you can look for that downside. If we do consolidate here, form a range, I'd be looking for a spike up here to take out the high, closes the SFP, and then come back down. You might be able to get a retest here and then lower, but that's what I'd be looking for. Either it close below 8,300 now, you can expect downside. If we close above it, we might get a push back up to the high here, take that out, closes the SFP into that supply zone, then more downside. Usually we get a retest of these levels like that, and you could try to enter around here or just on that SFP here. But yeah, guys, let's see. Something else I want to talk about here is the weekly open, right? Actually, let me go to H1. Here's the weekly open. So this is Monday. Here's Monday's high. Right, so we have Monday's high. Price has closed above Monday's high and went higher, right? That's what we usually see on a up week. You want to use Monday's range. You want to mark out the high and low. So technically the weekly open is around the low. We did kind of set a tiny wick below that, but more or less Monday's low is down here. Monday's high is here. Price closed above Monday's high, retested it, and went higher. So I'm expecting this week to close as an up week. We'll see where it closes, but overall, guys, I think we are kind of at a reversal point here on at least, the kind of the lower time frames. We tapped in that daily supply zone, consolidating here, close below this. I'm looking down here. Not much more than that, guys. This is where I'd be looking to take profit on shorts and maybe start scaling into a long, depending on how the price action looks. And just if we did just go up here and break kind of, what is this, 8,500? Sheesh. I mean, this is kind of like a compression zone here that we might fill in pretty quickly, but right now this run up is kind of looking like it's unsustainable, and I think that we should get a retrace before we eventually go higher after that. So that's my plan, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks.